This is Trump's West Point address. I think it's 17 minutes. And he came out, the wind was blowing, so he wore a hat. A lot of people are talking about how like disrespectful it is he's wearing a hat, and that's where I agree. But Supreme Court said he could shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue and not lose any support, so he can wear a hat if he fucking wants to, I guess. It's still pitiful, but there we go. Now here, let's try this. This is his commencement address for West Point. I have not watched this, so if at some point he brings up his deep and abiding relationship with Ron Jeremy and that he wished Andrew Dice Clay was a speechwriter, I apologize ahead of time. Also, by the way, I probably should warn you guys about this ahead of time, that you might need to brace yourself. I think the mic covers it most times because of the positioning, and I want to thank everyone on the AV team at West Point for their attention to detail.
Here I am like an idiot.
Right. So here he is delivering the West Point address.
And now we want you to relax, and I'm supposed to say at ease, but you're already at ease. You're at ease because you made a great choice in what you...
Yes, you're generally at ease in life. I don't know what that means. I took the easy road.
Your choices in life has been really amazing. So this is a celebration, and let's have a little fun. I want to thank your highly respected Superintendent, General Stephen Gillen, and he is really something. I got to know him backstage with his beautiful family.
He's highly respected, though. Other people told me he was good, so if he turns out to be a fuckhead or talk shit about me later, I never met the dude. I just met him backstage, and he seems great because you guys think he's great, but if he turns out to suck, that's your fault, not mine.
His reputation, his wife is just incredible. His reputation is unbelievable, and thank you very much. And your daughter is a winner also, just like everybody else.
Jesus. You know, if he wasn't a pussy grabber, none of this would seem weird. But all of it seems weird.
A real winner. Thank you. Thank you. I also want to thank your Commandant General R.J.
Commandant General? Your Commandant General?
Garcia.
Hold on. Say that again.
I also want to thank your Commandant General R.J. Garcia.
Commandant General? Did part of his tongue fall off?
Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll. Army Chief of Staff General Randy George. Senator Ashley Moody. Representatives Steve Womack, Bill Heisinger, Pat Ryan, Mark Green, Keith Self.
And I want to thank everybody that helped me hire people with completely white names because these foreign names kick my ass. I have hard times with just the word Johnson, so.
U.S. Attorney Alina Haba, and very much just all of the friends. We have a lot of friends in the audience today, and I just want to thank them all for being here. We have a tremendous amount of my friends. They wanted to come up and they wanted to watch this ceremony, and they wanted to watch you much more so than me. So I just want to thank so many.
What? Sorry, what? So your friends just wanted to come to West Point and look at a bunch of 18-year-old boys? They were all like, "Hey, can I come up there? Is it a common showering area? What in the world?" They were like, "Hey, can we come?" And I don't want to see your speech. I want to watch these youngins stand up in their uniforms and just want to lay it down and get so excited. And sometimes, it always takes me far too long. It's okay. It's all right.
People are here. Over the past 4 years, an extraordinary group of professors, teachers, coaches, leaders, and warriors have transformed this class of cadets into an exceptional group of scholars and soldiers. And so let's give the entire group, the entire West Point faculty, the staff, for their incredible love of you. And
oh, God, the nunt. It's bad today. Sorry. He's The words are uncomfortable. He didn't take a look at this speech beforehand, so he's uncomfortable. So he's gripping the fucking podium. He's got that fucking leaning death grip on it, and he's
Ending devotion to the core. Let's give them a little hand.
A little hand. Why not a big hand? You give him a big hand. Give him a little hand. It's a golf thing, probably. Yes, pan further back so you can see his weird, skeevy friends from West Palm Beach who want to look at the young 18-year-old men and women in their dress whites and imagine throwing iced tea on them or something.
And importantly, we can't forget all of those people
Oh, it's his favorite ramp. Bet you he doesn't leave through the ramp this time. Bet you he doesn't.
with pride. Look at them in the audience. Oh, they're so proud. They're in the stands. So thank your parents, your grandparents, and family members who made this all possible for you. Thank you.
Well, and the taxpayer, I think.
And I think they must have done something right based on what I'm looking at. America loves our military moms and dads. Nearly 1/3 of the cadets graduating today are themselves the children of veterans. So to everyone with us this morning who's serving.
Nearly? That's it speaks very highly to the West Pointers that joined 4 years ago, that they were first time in, that they're not from military families. That's kind of impressive. 2/3.
America in uniform, no matter your age, please stand so we can salute your service. We'd like to see who you are.
Maybe he should, because of bone spurs, maybe he should sit down when they're standing.
Congratulations. Great job.
Congratulations. Great job. They didn't just win something, dumb motherfucker. They dedicated their lives to preserving the freedoms of this country. Thank you. We appreciate your service, not congratulations, great job. Jesus Christ.
Every cadet on the field before me should savor this morning, because this is a day that you will never, ever forget.
Yeah. Remember when you sat third row and got a shocking view of his waggy, nunty neck and had him watch him try to pronounce the word commander?
In a few moments, you'll become graduates of the most elite and
the most elite. Eh oui. Haha, de rien. Ah, yes. The most elite.
In a few moments, you'll become graduates of the most elite and
the most. I didn't know he spoke French.
military academy in human history, and you will become officers in the greatest and most powerful army the world has ever known. And I know because I rebuilt that army, and I
Fuck you.
rebuilt the military.
I gotta say, I suppose they're applauding and yelling, but it sounds like they're laughing.
And we rebuilt it like nobody has ever rebuilt it before in my...
Yeah, that's a sentence. We rebuilt it like no one's ever rebuilt it before. I guess you got to give credit where credit is due for the people, I guess, who built it for the first fucking place, or the people who built the elements that you allegedly rebuilt before you rebuilt them.
Term. Your experience here at West Point has been anything but easy, but...
Oh, it froze. Look at that. That's theirs. It's rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, quality video.
You came for duty, you came to serve your country, and you came to show yourselves, your family.
They cut away. It's interesting. Like they lost the shot and then they. What did they cut out? My guess on Mike. Yeah, on Mike fart. That would be my guess.
And the world that you are among the smartest, toughest, strongest, most lethal.
Grongest? Sorry.
And the world that you are among the smartest, toughest, strongest, most.
Strongest. Look, the few, the proud, the strongest.
Lethal warriors ever to walk on this planet. Looking out at all of you today, I can proudly say, mission accomplished. Great job.
Really? You're going to go with mission accomplished?
But now you have to go on. You have to forget that. Because now you have another. It's a sad thing, isn't it? You know, you can't rest on your laurels no matter what.
Rest on your laurels, motherfucker. They didn't. Again, they're in a process. They joined the military. This is part of what they're doing. And by the way, they absolutely can rest on their lawyers. Their lawyers, listen, their laurels. Yes, you should also rest on your lawyers as well, especially, you know, if they, you know, because it's important. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Just because you graduated West Point doesn't mean you have to go into the military afterwards. You can rest on those laurels and then move on to another university or another.
You just have to keep going. You take a little day off and you go on to the rest because you have to have.
It's so great. So moving. I feel moved.
Victory after victory after victory. And that's what you're going to have as you receive your commissions as second lieutenants. Each of you continues down the same hallowed path walked by titans and legends of U.S. military law.
Law?
It's like Ulysses S. Grant.
Who I think is buried in Grant's tomb, if I'm not mistaken.
On Blackjack Pershing, Dwight David Eisenhower, the one and only Douglas MacArthur.
MacArthur.
Old blood and guts George Patton. And Stormin.
And Donald Bone Spurs, AIDS was my personal Vietnam Trump.
Norman Schwarzkopf. All great. So many more. They and countless other patriots before you have walked out of these halls and straight into history. And today, you officially join those immortal heroes in a proud ranks of.
I think this is probably a circuitous route to get you to history. I mean, you certainly.
The long gray line, you know that term, so beautiful. The long gray line.
Yes, tell us what it means. Tell us the deep meaning of it. I know you were touched by it when you heard about it the first time and you really dove in. What does the long gray line mean? It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, what was it? Yeah.
Among the 1,000 cadets graduating today, 26 of you wear the prestigious star wreath signifying the highest level of academic achievement. Please stand up. 26. Let's see if somebody stands who shouldn't be standing.
What the oh, you mean like you? Yeah, sit your bone spurs down. Also, what the fuck does that mean? Like, talk about projection.
Congratulations. That's a big honor. This class includes an incredible 4 Rhodes Scholars. Stand up, please. 4. Wow. That's tied for the most of any West Point class since 1959. That's great. 4. Congratulations. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I want to bring them right to the Oval Office. I don't want to have them go too far away from me. 8
Go too far away from me? Why don't you just call him Tippy Top Perfecto?
here today took on the challenge of designing their own hypersonic rocket. Oh, we can use you. We're building them right now. You know,
He has no idea.
we had ours stolen. We are the designer of it. We had it stolen during the Obama administration. They stole it. You know who stole it? The Russians stole it. Something bad happened. But we're the designer of it, and we're now building them, and lots of them. And
yeah. It's at least he's not being divisive for no reason whatsoever.
this year, they launched it into space, setting a world record for amateur rocketry. Can't get you in there fast enough. This class excelled not only
No pun intended.
mentally, but also physically. Last January, when more than 1,000 cadets volunteered for an 18.5-mile march on a freezing winter night, Cadet
My bone spurs hurt just thinking about it.
Verdugo completed the task in 2 hours and 30 minutes flat, smashing the international record for the competition by 13 minutes. Where is he? Where is he? Come up here. Come up here, Chris. Get up here, Chris. Wow. Come here. That's
Show him how you walk a ramp, Chris.
by 13 minutes. Come here, Chris. I want to see this guy. Wow. Say something. Come here. Come here.
I want to steal some of your valor, buddy.
It's been a long 5 years, but I couldn't have done it with any of these guys. Love you guys all. Thank you.
Wow, wow, he's wearing white pants too. Wow. Wow, he looks like he should be coming out of a clock or something. Wow.
That's great. Keep it going, Chris. That really is a definition of Army strong, isn't it? International. International. This class includes
Not necessarily. You go in different places.
513 graduates who completed air assault school.
Graduates?
513 graduates who completed
Graduates. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. They had to have spelled it with a bunch of R's in the teleprompter. Graduates.
air assault school, 70 who completed airborne school, 8 who made it through the ultra-elite Army diver school, among the most difficult and grueling programs anywhere on Earth. That includes the first 2 women in West Point history to complete diver school, cadets Megan Cooper and Clara Sabu. Where are you? Stand up.
Yes, women who you've just put a glass ceiling on their future, even though they completed it just like everyone. They earned it in a meritocracy, I think is the phrase. I can't wait to deny you a promotion. Me and Tommy Tuberville, we got your number. You just made the list, ladies. Where the girls, huh? Huh? Where the girls, huh? Where the girl, huh?
Wow, great job. That is not easy.
Oh yeah? No? It was rough when you tried it? Was it? Honest to God. Chat room. We know he can't drive a fucking car. I'm going to go with can't swim. I'm just going to say it. Trump can't, hashtag Trump can't swim. Guarantee it. We know Biden can swim. We've seen him do it over the years. Goes to the beach. He's gone swimming a bunch of times. He can ride a fucking bicycle. Hashtag Trump can't swim. We know he can't ride a bike. Can't drive a fucking car. There's no fucking way he can swim. I'm just calling it. Hashtag Trump can't swim. So there is no easy or hard in that kind of a grueling test that Trump can even have anything to measure it against. It's totally binary. There is no like, wow, I couldn't even do some of that. You can't do any of it, you dumb motherfucker. You would sink like a stone. There, I guarantee it. He has a pool. Well, Biden has a pool. Hashtag Trump can't swim. We're just going to throw that out there. I'm just going to throw that out. 224 pounds ass would sink. I mean, you'd think with that amount of bloat, he could float. His bones are like flutes. You know it. You know he's not like physically dense at all. That's why he has to posture all the fucking time. I don't float very well. I would just like to say for the record. Full disclosure, and if we're getting personal, I don't float very well. My whole life I've tried to like back float in water in a bunch of different places, and I just don't have the fat to keep me afloat or the oxygenation in my muscles or whatever the fuck it is. But I gotta swim. I've always had to swim. I learned to swim while I was drowning. This is a true story. Me and Mike Brewer were playing in the creek behind my house with my buddy Kurt Troutwine and a couple other kids, and we walked out past a shelf that we didn't know was there, and we both dropped into the water, and we started drowning, and we were just clawing for the top of the water. We were little kids, and I looked over in the water, and I saw my friend Mike Brewer, rest his soul, he passed away a couple of years ago, drowning. And I was drowning too, but I was like, I literally had this thought. I'm underwater. I was like this. I was like, if I don't learn to swim, we're both dead. That was my thought. That was the thought that came to mind. And so I had remembered when my dad, there was a rat in the house, and it had eaten some rat poison we'd put out, I guess, but it crawled out in the middle of the living room floor. And my dad came home, and my mom and my sister were there, and they were like, there's a fucking rat or whatever. And I had put a pan over top of it because it wasn't moving. I'd taken like a giant mixing bowl and covered the rat with the mixing bowl, and I was like, it's under the mixing bowl. And my dad went and got a shovel, and he put it under the mixing bowl, and he took it out and threw it in the creek. And the rat hit the water and started swimming towards the shore. Even though it was drugged to almost death, right? It started swimming to the shore. And my dad, I'll never forget this, took this shovel he had and went, pap, and just hit this fucking rat. And no, that was the end of the rat. So, but I did remember how the rat swam. True story. I remember the rat doing this. And I was like, if a rat can do it with that fat ass, I can do it. So I think I was 8 years old or something like that. And I was like, I did this business. And I dog paddled to shore. And my buddy Kurt, rest his soul, he passed away a couple years ago too. I lost a bunch of people around COVID. Just saying. Yeah, I was shedding fucking friends. You guys know this, like crazy. But he was laughing because that's how he handles stress. He was laughing that Mike and I were drowning. And I could see Mike's hands sticking up out of the water like this. And so I grabbed a branch while I was yelling at Kurt, like, do something, go get my mom. And I put the stick between Mike's hands and hit him back and forth so he would feel him. And he grabbed him like this. And then I just walked backwards, pulling him up. And luckily, we weighed about the same. I think he was a little bigger than me, but he was in the water, so that made him lighter. And I pulled him in, he was fine. But that's how I learned to swim. After that, my cousin and I used to call it otter time. We swam like just fucking diving, staying underwater all we could. It was great. And maybe some people don't know. Hit the like, share the show if you like the personal stories. I pulled 7 people out of that creek over the course of the time I lived in Peaks Mill. 6 out of the creek. One person I saved was at the pool in Frankfurt. 6 of the people that I saved from drowning were in the creek, and 1 was in Frankfurt's public pool. And I even had a twofer. My dad's friend had a daughter and a son. Son was younger, daughter was slightly older. They were both about my age, and they were going down the rapids, kind of like scooting on their butts with the water, and didn't realize there's this like tumble dryer pit in the middle of it near the other side of the creek that if you fall into it, it just rolls you over and bounces you around. And they went in, bloosh, and didn't come up. And I, like an idiot, ran as fast as I could and dove in, bumped into them like this, but I saw them in the water or whatever, and they were both like holding each other and just kind of bumping around under the water. But neither one was trying to swim. They were just sinking. And so I grabbed her arm, and then I just started clawing at the side of the like the edge of this gravel and shit that was on the top of there. And I was praying to Jesus, because I was 11, and I was like, Lord, I need help. I need help here. Lord Jesus, save me, but help me and deliver me from this physical test, Lord. I was praying in my head, for real. This is a true story. And I reached up and I was like grabbing at this fucking gravel, and there was fucking nothing. And I was looking down at them, and it was fucking water swirling around. And there was a root from one of the trees that was on the bank that was right there. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. And I just did this. I curled myself together like that, figuring like I wasn't that strong, but I could bring this, I could bring them together, and then they could grab up, and they would be able to, like, we'd start pushing each other up or whatever. And that was the thought I had at the time, and it worked. And so they lived. So there you go. Just a true story. That's a Peaks Mill, Kentucky, Elkhorn Creek. 6. Yeah, no atheists in foxholes or in rapids. So yeah, they were. That was my twofer. The other 4 were individuals, including a drunk fisherman who staggered out. I think he twisted his ankle or something, fell into the water, and basically whacked his head on a fucking rock. And I watched him go down, and he was going to drown in about this much water. Ran over and yanked him over, and he's like not making. It didn't seem like he was breathing. And then he finally coughed or whatever, but I just kind of dragged him back up, and my mom took care of him. So yeah. That was the biggest person I pulled out, but I feel like the twofer kind of balances it out. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So anyways, back to this asshole saying that swimming is hard. Hashtag Trump can't swim.
Congratulations, Megan, Clara. That's a job well done. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
That's a job well done. Yeah, I guess technically it is. Yeah, they're extraordinary. They're the first women to ever do that. Yeah, I would say that's a job well done. I got news for you, asshole. The people that fail are doing a good job. They're just not doing a great job. They're not getting over the hump.
Some of you achieved a different kind of distinction here at the Academy, including 7 century men who completed 100 hours of marching for disciplinary, infractions. No, don't tell me I'm doing this.
He didn't read it before. He has no idea.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Would you like to stand up? I don't know.
They had to march 100 hours for pulling shit and getting busted. Army training, sir! That's that crowd.
I think I saw Chris standing up. Chris, what's going on here? Well, you had one good, one not so good, right, Chris? Can't believe Chris is standing up. But we want everyone to leave here today, Chris, so you're going to be okay, because I'm going to do something with a clean slate. So in keeping with tradition, I hereby pardon all cadets on restriction for minor conduct offenses effective immediately. So you're all okay. You're all okay.
Yeah, they do this every time. He thinks he's special.
The class of 2025 has a lot to be proud of, including your first...
Has a lot to be proud of. Has, not is.
The class of 2025 has a lot to be proud of, including...
has a lot to be proud of. I mean, you can. I guess their parents would be proud of them. So is.
You're first-rate athletes and athletics. You are something.
Yeah, an Athlean X. That guy is amazing. His abs are crazy.
I've been watching too. I love the sports stuff. What you've done is pretty amazing.
The sports stuff. Me too. Big sports stuff fan.
Last year, for the first time ever, Army lacrosse became the #1 ranked men's lacrosse team in the entire country.
Oh, how far the mighty have fallen.
Look at that.
Explain the rules of lacrosse.
Those of you on the team, stand. That's a big honor. Stand. Great. That's a tough sport, too.
Okay, simmer down. It's definitely challenging, but easy.
That's #1 in the country.
They're #1 in the country. Not lacrosse is not #1 in the country. I'm just saying it's pretty good, but I mean, New Trier, my high school had a lacrosse team. When I moved from Kentucky to Chicago, I was like, "What the fuck are they doing in the field? Is this some sort of like psychotic fat butterfly catching competition?"
Sophomore year, Army football beat Navy 2017. And the next year, you did it again, beating Navy 17-11.
Oh, wait, hold on. We do need a break from the nunt. We do. Hold on. Because this little buddy wants to come say hi. Thank you. Hi, buddy. How's it, my boy? How's it, my boy, Bucky? What's going on, man? What are you doing? Were you taking a nap?
He just ate.
Huh?
He just had lunch.
He did? He just ate? Hi. We're keeping him. We're keeping him. I mean, we have a pure white cat. I mean, it might only make sense. She can have a shadow and follow him around. He's fascinated by my ceiling fan, which is good because Chip is petrified by my ceiling fan, and we don't know why. Hi, buddy. What are you doing? You okay? He's like, what is that? That's amazing. He does. Does he still hate his?
He's gotten better.
He's gotten better with his
He knows when he gets
necklace.
around, he gets to go
Yeah,
around the house.
it means he gets to run around. Yeah. Hi, buddy. Yeah, he sits like this. He'll lay over like this. He probably won't right now because he wants to climb on my stuff. But he likes to lay around like this. Right, buddy? This is, yeah. So, currently Bucky, but we'll see if he takes to it. I think so, though. Bucky, what's happening? What's happening? Nim, nim, nim. He's just staring at the ceiling fan. It's amazing. Hi, buddy. Yeah. I could do this all day. So, you guys get to see him. There he is. He'll be around a bunch. You'll watch him grow up, and you're like, oh my God, I remember when he was this big, right? And before Christmas, he's going to be enormous. What do you think, buddy? What do you think? It's your belly. Your shaved belly from, it's so embarrassing. I'm sorry. That's so wrong.
Yeah.
He got neutered.
But they thought he was a girl.
Yeah, so we take,
That's the only reason his belly
we got,
shaved.
yeah, we got 2 cats. I mean, sorry, 2 boys and 2 girls. And they thought they were all girls or something, and they shaved their bellies and they had their names all wrong. It was very silly. I mean, bless their hearts. They do this all day long. So there you go, buddy. You want to try and get to the fan? You think you can make it? Do not try to jump. Do not. Do not, young man. Do not. What are you doing? He's just gonna. He's like, what, dude? Do you have any idea what's above your head? That thing could decapitate you in a second. Should I just put little ribbons on it so you can just go? He totally would. I think what we got to do is get like a little green screen perch, like about this high.
And let you sit there.
And just sit, yeah, let him sit there, just levitate in the middle of the sky, yeah, because he's such a sweetie. He's such a sweet little man. Yeah. Try to feed 9 of them. We had 28 cats on our farm in Kentucky, so they're all, barn and porch cats, but still. The 2 main ones were the Hulk and Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty was the mom of most of them, and the Hulk was the dad. And he was this gray-green short hair that was huge, meaty cat, kind of like Chip. And then you're going to give yourself a neck cramp, kiddo. What's it doing? What's it doing? What's it doing? He's so laid back. Check this out. Isn't this great? He's just such a relaxed little buddy. He is. He's just fascinated. This is great. Okay, I will pass him back. Love you. Thank you for bringing kitty time.
You're welcome. Mwah. Come on, little man.
Yeah, he gets to. Here, I'm going to shut my door in case Murph decides to come in. Still. Yeah, so we're keeping him. He's you have 34 barn cats. I applaud you, Howie. So cute, right? So there we go. Yeah, he's not where Chip is upstairs. Chip and him have been wrestling. We just have to be careful that Chip thinks he's a kitten and he doesn't realize how strong he is. So we gotta kind of, most of the time, if Bucky squeals, we know it's you have to stop it. But the two of them, most of the time, they fight to a draw on their own, and he'll do like this, like Bucky will put his back up like this and do this kind of like trotting, Hunchback of Notre Dame thing, like stay away from me. It's really cute. He trots. It's really cute. So, yeah. So we have that. Yeah, we love him too. He's a good time. So, all right, now back to this bullshit. Enough happiness and joy. Back to this dipshittery.
And dominating Air Force 23-3. But this year, the Black Knights fought your way into the top 20 nationally and racked up your longest winning streak since 1949 with the help of graduating quarterback cadet Bryson Daly, or as you call him, Captain America. Captain America. Stand up, Bryson. Where's Bryson? We got to get him up here, right? Come on, Bryson.
Notice he didn't invite the girls up, but okay. I'm okay with that, actually, because I don't want them to have to be anywhere near him.
Man, oh, man. I heard he's well, I came to a game and I said, yeah, he can get into the NFL, can he? But he chose this life. And you know what? I think he made a good choice. Come on up here, Bryson. Come on up. Wow.
His commander's yelling, hurry. Like,
Go Army football. Shout out the Hogs, H4. Can't wait to graduate. Love you guys.
Well, I just tapped his shoulder. It's like I hit a piece of steel. Guy's in good shape. There's a reason, there's always a reason for success. Thank you, Bryson.
yeah, you mean he dedicates himself to something and keeps at it for a long time, like everybody around you except you?
At a time when other top college quarterbacks were thinking about going pro, Bryson's mind was on something else. As he told an interviewer earlier this year, I'm focused on my career as an infantry officer. That's what he wants to do. So, Bryson, you did the right thing, and that's service at its finest. Thanks, Bryson.
Thanks, Bryson. Okay.
Amazing. He's an amazing guy with an amazing team. Each of you on the
yes, we all heard the part that was in the teleprompter.
field today is among the most talented members of your generation. You could have done anything you wanted. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone to any school. This is one of the hardest schools to get into. And writing your own ticket to top jobs on Wall Street or Silicon Valley wouldn't be bad. But I think what you're doing is better. Instead of...
No, you don't. Don't lie. No, you don't. You wouldn't let your sons join the military. You threatened to disown them if they did. Bullshit. You do not think that military service is superior to going to Silicon Valley or fucking Wall Street at all. That's a lie.
Sports teams and spreadsheets and software, you chose a life of service, very important service, instead of stock options. And I do that stuff. It's sort of boring.
Yeah, you do stock options, and it is sort of boring. Yeah.
Honestly, compared to what you're doing, it's real boring. You chose honor and you chose sacrifice. And instead of business suits and dress shoes, you chose muddy boots and fatigues, keeping yourself in shape. Because West Point cadets don't just have the brightest minds, you also have the bravest hearts and the noblest souls. You're amazing people. I could not be more proud to serve you as your commander-in-chief, and our country is doing well. We've turned it around very quickly.
Jesus Christ. Stop trying to steal their moment, you lazy, weak little limp dick fuck.
It around. I just got back from the Middle East, and I...
Oh, dear.
As you know, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and I will tell you, they said, all three leaders, great leaders of those three nations, they all said the same thing. The
Leave Hamas alone. They're our buddies. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
United States of America is hotter now than we've ever seen it, and a year ago, it was as cold as it gets, and it's true.
They did not say that. He said that about himself.
It's true. We have the hottest country in the world, and the whole world is talking about.
Yeah, we're the it girl of world politics now. We're so fucking insta. Like, the U.S. is fucking fire, bro.
And that's an honor for all of us. I cannot wait to see the glory that is still ahead, however, for the West Point class of 2025, and we're going to help you a lot because we're going to give you a nation as good or better than it ever was. That's what I promise you.
As good or better. All right, sure. Status quo or an improvement, which means obviously that he's expecting it to go very badly.
All the victories that you've had together on these grounds will soon pale in comparison to the momentous deeds that you'll perform on the mission you're accepting today. And as a future leader of America's Army, and we have that Army geared up, we have ordered. As
future leaders of America, like the idea, there's a whole bunch of these fuckers. You do realize, oh, Jesus.
We just went $1 trillion military budget, General. Do you know that? $1 trillion.
Yeah, you have not passed that yet. And again, in general, that was a negative for a long time. I'm sorry, something about neocons and budgets.
People say, could you cut it back? I said, I'm not cutting 10 cents. There's another thing we can cut. We can cut plenty of others. Right, Dan?
Yeah, Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, Social Security. Yeah, tax breaks for billionaires. No, we can't do that, obviously.
We can cut plenty of other things, and you have a good man in Dan, too, General. I think you're going to find that. It's a very different warfare out there today now.
Yes, there is a different warfare out there.
Introduced a thing called drone. A drone is a little bit different. It makes... You have to go back and learn a whole new form of warfare, and you're going to do it better than anybody else. There won't be anybody close. Generation...
Well, obviously the Ukrainians have a big lead.
The generation, the men and women of the Army have done whatever it takes to defend our flag, pouring out their blood onto the fields of battle all over the world. And all over the world, you're respected like nobody is respected. Our soldiers have sprinted through storms of bullets, clouds of...
Oh, he loves these, like, fucking ChatGPT, take a Wikipedia thing and a story from G.I. Joe and throw it together and make... So I can say really rousing things and get credit tangentially for what they did.
Slog through miles of dirt and oceans of sand.
Stuff that I told my sons I would disown them if they ever did anything like that.
Scale towering cliffs of jagged rock. And time again, the American soldier has charged into the fires of hell and sent the devil racing in full retreat.
Is that from a book or like? Look at his like they reacted to that one. Why do they give a shit about that?
No task has ever been too tough for America's Army. And now that 250-year legacy of glory and triumph belongs to you, the 1,000 newest officers of the...
This is like the least inspiring West Point address I have ever seen. It's not hard either. All you do is tune in, if you're capable, to the seriousness of what they're facing and the accomplishments that they have made. Feel it even the slightest bit. Have it resonate with things you haven't accomplished in your life and things you have. And pay tribute to the work that they've done. You don't have to... and also, such a great... You have walked into hails of bullets, run across the backs of sharks, kicked the devil in the gym, and flown your airplane into a tornado of hellfire. And you will always get the appreciation from me and my administration.
Greatest fighting force in the history of the world, and that's what you are, and that's what you're being thought of again.
They never weren't, stupid.
You are the first West Point graduates of the golden age of America. This is
Fuck off.
golden age, I tell you. Promise.
Yeah, bro, totally. And his word's worth a lot. Ask Ivana. If you golf, I suppose you could, have a seance or something.
We're in a new age. This is the golden age.
Yeah, it totally is. Absolutely. Yes, it feels like the 20s.
And you're
Like 29.
going to lead the Army to summits of greatness that has never reached before. And you see that. You see what's happening. You see
You totally see it, and it's doing it right now, and summits like nobody's ever summited before.
what's going on in the world. Each of you is entering the officer corps at a defining
And that's
moment.
President Trump right there.
Oh, fuck. You guys are bailing on him? Oh, shit. Hold on. I gotta find another version of this. God damn. They just ditched out on this dickhead at the end? Hold on.
Defend our nation. And he was a happy guy. Just
Oh, this is the part.
in 40 years. So as Commander-in-Chief, let me offer a few words of advice as you begin your Army careers. And I thought I'd do this, and I can make this to a civilian audience or to a military audience. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Civilians, military. You guys are just cogs in the wheel to me.
And
Obviously, I say different things to billionaires, especially sheikhs and oil, billionaires. Those guys I fucking fillet. But you guys, I'll shit something out.
just recently at Ohio State, and they really liked it. I gave them a little advice as to what I see for what you want to do.
Oh, I see. So you're just repackaging the last speech you gave. You couldn't be bothered to come up with a fucking hell. I appreciate you guys more than anybody's ever appreciated you. And to prove it, I'm going to plagiarize my own speech from the last commencement I gave because I really don't give a shit. Fucking hell.
And first of all, and you've already done it, different from civilians, they're making their decision right now. You've already made your decision. I love your decision. You have to do what you love. You have to do what you love. If you
It's true. It's true. And if what you love is living off your father's fortune and bankrupting the company a couple of times and then being a game show host while you're sexually assaulting women across New York and the tri-state area, that at least you're doing something that you love as you're reviled.
love it, you'll never be successful at it. And you've done this, and you really, many of you in the audience, many of you that are graduating, you come from military backgrounds or you love the military. It's what you want to do. It's what you want to talk about.
Whatever gave you that idea? The fact that they decided to go to West Point? Also, you already stated that only a third of them come from military backgrounds or military families. So 2/3 of them don't. They chose it specifically.
One thing I see about people that love the military, that's all they want to talk about. I'll be out to dinner. Generals, if they love their job, usually the only good ones are the ones who want to talk about it all the time.
What?
But if they talk, that's what they want to talk about.
No, you don't talk about them. You don't talk to them unless that's what they're talking about. You couldn't give two fucks about them. They're basically public servants to you, and that's terrible.
Really, very rarely see somebody who's successful that doesn't love what he or she does. You have to love what you do. In your case, the military is what you chose, and I'll tell you what, you cannot go wrong. You're going to see it too. You're going to love it more and more with time. You know, I work all the time. That's all I do is I work. Whether it's...
He went golfing right after this. And he also skipped the return of 4 dead soldiers from Lithuania because he was golfing. He literally, I mean, I don't know if the kids that are at this thing know that, but he skipped the dignified return of our soldiers from Lithuania to go golfing.
Politically, or before that, I was a very good businessman, in case you have... Really good. But I was good because I loved it. I loved it. I learned from my father a little bit. My father was a happy guy, and all he did was work. He'd work Saturdays.
Yes, nothing could make him happier than staying away from his family, mainly you.
Sundays, he'd work all the time, and he was a happy guy. And
then he would come home, and he was like, ugh, this guy again. I'm going back to work.
Loved life. And I learned that. I said, you know, it makes him happy. I've seen other people that never work, and they're not happy.
They're homeless, they're drug addicts, they don't seem happy to me. I mean, they're smiling a lot, but there's not a lot of teeth there, so I don't know if that's a real smile that qualifies on the merits.
I love it, otherwise you won't be successful in the Army. There are a lot of different paths you can take, so follow your instincts and make sure that you take the path that you love, that you're doing something that you love within your...
Genius. This is awesome. Thank God somebody wrote this down. I can't wait to see isolated quotes from this on Successories. So let me, sorry, did I get that? Everybody get that down? You gotta love what you do if you want to be successful. Fact. Hashtag what?
The Army will be far stronger for it. Second is to think big.
That's right. Think big. Don't achieve big, just think big.
Always think big. If you're going to do something, you might as well think big, do it big, because it's just as tough, and sometimes it's a lot easier thinking big than doing a small task that's more difficult.
This is so well done. Oh my God. I feel like it's like I've never seen a human being speak in haiku before. It's such poetry. Also, can I know that sounds familiar. Let's see. I have this book in the toilet. It's great. I wonder if is the whole speech in here? Winning requires getting up off your affirmations. I heard that from a guy. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Also, you have to be before you can do, and you have to do before you can have, and doobie-doobie-doo, Frank Sinatra. It's fucking, he just, like, is this entire speech from a fucking calendar?
One of your greatest graduates, General Eisenhower, used to say, whenever I run into a problem that I can't solve, I always like to make it bigger to solve it and solve more of it. If you're going to solve a problem, it might as well be a big problem as opposed to a small problem.
Hold on. There's got to be a quote he's referencing, right? Eisenhower quote, big problems. Yeah. Yeah. If a problem cannot be solved, enlarge it. That's what the phrase is. Is where this comes from. If a problem cannot be solved, enlarge it. Right. The quote motivates people to think outside package when faced with the problem. It seems that it can be resolved. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Is there a full quote of it? Let's see. Let's see the full. Is there a full quote? Yeah, it just says enlarge it. Okay. I like it though. Sure. Whatever.
People can take advantage of themselves.
Sorry. Sorry. Run that by me again, dipshit. What was the? What? How did he phrase it? What was the story?
Problem that I can't solve. I always like to make it bigger to solve it and solve more of it.
Yeah, that's almost a direct quote.
If you're going to solve a problem, it might as well be a big problem as opposed.
Oh, you know what? Can I, real quick? There's a great quote. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here you go. Don't join the book burners. Don't think you're going to conceal faults by concealing evidence that they ever existed. Don't be afraid to go in your library and read every book. I don't know why I didn't choose that one. Never waste a minute thinking about people you don't like. Well, I've really violated that one. I apologize. In preparing for battle, I've always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable. Leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. That works. A people that values its privileges above its principles will soon loses both. I don't know why Trump didn't use that one. If you want total security, go to prison. There you're fed, clothed, and given medical care and so on. The only thing lacking is freedom. The search for a scapegoat is the easiest of all hunting expeditions. You do not lead by hitting people over the head. That's assault, not leadership. I don't know why Trump didn't pick some of these other great Eisenhower quotes. Do you? Yeah, it's weird.
A small problem that lots of people can take advantage of themselves. So you can achieve something really amazing.
Hold on. What the fuck was that part?
More of it. If you're going to solve a problem, it might as well be a big problem as opposed to a small problem that lots of people can take advantage of themselves.
Well, if lots of people can solve it, then it's been solved already, I guess? Or you can, delegate it? Never delegate. Thanks. All right, I'll write that down, too.
So you can achieve something really amazing. Think big. Third, though, you got to...
Yeah, third. Here it comes. This is the caveat emptor.
This brain power you have to have. Potential you have to have. But to be really successful, you're always going to have to work hard. An example is a great athlete, Gary Player, great golfer.
Yeah. You just had people who marched 100, miles or whatever because that's how they got disciplined in this place. And some dude finished a Trek marathon with a 100-pound rucksack on his back in 2 hours and 13 minutes or some shit. Or two hours and a half and beat the record by 13 minutes. Tell him about golf.
He wasn't as big as the other men that were playing against him. Great big.
Yeah, but it's golf, so who gives a fuck? Nobody gets tackled.
Strong guys. Gary was a smaller guy.
But the ball was small and the clubs are small. It's fucking golf.
I would say two ways. A friend of mine gets a little angry at people because he hits the ball just as far. He said, I hit the ball further than them. Why am I small? But he worked.
I hit the ball further than them. Why am I so small? Yeah. Is this story really about your dick? Is that what's happening?
Very, very hard. He was always doing exercise. He was well ahead of his time. He never
always doing exercise. Yeah, who exercises in sports? What the fuck?
He won 168 golf tournaments. He won 18 majors, 9 regular and 9 on the senior tour. 18. 168. That's the most tournaments internationally. the most.
It's amazing. And it's golf, you say. What? Golf. I've never heard of it, but golf. And this is allegedly a sport. This is grown men play this. And they have to be big and strong. It's not like a sport for old men to ride a cart around and putt a bunch. I just seem to remember, you know, Caddyshack, for example. Nobody was really standing out in terms of muscle mass, except the caddies, actually, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's the point.
Anybody's ever won. But he made a statement years ago, and I heard it.
Well, good. You were there and you heard it, and you had a pen and you wrote it down. You heard him say it on television, and you didn't hear it live.
He's the first one. I think I've heard it a couple of times since, but he was the first. He said, it's funny. The harder I work, the luckier I get. And think of that. The harder.
He's not the first person to say that.
The luckier I get. And he worked hard.
My grandmother used to say, luck is when opportunity meets preparation.
And you're working hard, and the harder you work, the luckier you're going to get. Fourth is, don't lose your momentum.
Like in this speech about 10 minutes ago.
Momentum is an amazing thing. Keep it
It
going.
is.
I tell a story sometimes about a man
Oh dear.
who was a great, great real estate man. It was a man who was admired for real estate all over the world, actually. But all
Sure, no doubt. Yeah. Did he golf too?
over the
Probably.
country. He built 11 towns. He started as a man who built one house. Then he built 2. Then he built 5. Then he built 20. Then he
Fabulous. Great. I've never heard of this happening before. You don't say. It's not. I mean, that's how all developers work. But okay. Anyways, you were saying.
built 1,000. Then he built 2,000 and 3,000 a year.
So he's old, right?
And he got very big, very big. He was great at what he did. You see him all over the country, still 11 towns. This was a long time ago.
You do. You see him everywhere.
But he was the first of the really, really big home builders.
Wow. Great story. What was his name again? Frank Substanson?
He became very rich. He became a very rich man. And then he decided to sell. He was offered a lot of money by a big conglomerate, Gulf and Western, big conglomerate. They didn't do
You remember the company's name. Who's this fucker?
real estate. They didn't know anything about it, but they saw the money he was making. They wanted to take it to a public company. And they gave him a lot of money, tremendous amount of money, more money than he ever thought he'd get.
Right? More money than he ever thought he'd get. Sounds like retirement.
Sold his company, and he had nothing to do. He ended up getting a divorce, found a new wife. Could you say a trophy wife? I guess we could say a trophy wife. It didn't work out too well, but it doesn't work out too well. I must tell you, a lot of trophy
Jesus, as my wife Melania will tell you if she was here.
wives doesn't work out. But it made him happy for a little while at least. But he found a new wife. He sold his little boat. He got a big yacht. He had one of the biggest yachts anywhere in the world. He moved for a time to Monte Carlo.
This is, by the way, about momentum, I would like to remind you. Which is, apparently, this guy sold his company, broke his momentum, made a bunch of money, and then decided to go back to work. So I guess momentum doesn't mean shit.
And he led the good life. And time went by and he got bored. And 15 years later, the company that he sold to called him. And they said, the housing business is not for us. You have to understand, when Bill Levitt was hot, when he had momentum, he'd go to the job sites every night. He'd pick up every loose nail. He'd pick up every scrap of wood.
Well, I mean, there are only 3 or 4 houses at that point, I guess. I mean, were the workers coming back the next morning, or?
There was a bolt or a screw laying in the ground. He'd pick it up and he'd use it the next day and put it together the house.
Okay, so maybe, I don't know, buy a magnet next time so he wouldn't have to pick them up. You just walk around with a fucking magnet and that be, fuck me. Anyways, you were saying.
But now he was spoiled, and he was rich. He was really rich. And they called him, they said, this isn't for us, this business. We do other things. Would you like to buy it back? We'll sell it back to you cheap. And they did. He bought it. He bought it. He thought he made a great deal, and he was all excited. But it was 15 years later. He lost a lot of momentum. Remember the word momentum. And he lost everything. It just didn't work. He lost everything. And I was sitting at a party on Fifth Avenue one night long.
As you do. Yeah. With Jeffrey Epstein. Right? That was that party.
Time ago. And you had the biggest people in New York, the biggest people in the country, all in that party. They were all
Yeah. Not piss-ons like you guys.
telling each other how great they were. They were all telling each other, I'm greater than you. Gets me really, gives you a headache sometimes. But they had all these people that
What?
telling their own story.
He has a headache right now. That's what this, I don't know, or he's been having them lately and it's scaring him.
About how fantastic a cocktail party, and I looked over, and I was doing well. I was invited to the party, so I had to be doing well. I was very, very young, but I made a name in real estate. And I looked over, and at the party, sitting in the corner all by himself, nobody was talking to, was Mr. Levin. He had just gone bankrupt, lost everything. He lost everything. His home, everything.
But he still had the cocktail party. He still got I still got my invite.
And I went over and talked to him because he was.
And I was like, wait a second. If they're inviting this bum to this party, they'll let oh shit.
Real estate business, and I love real estate. I said, hello, Mr. Levin, how are you? He said, hello, Don, it's nice to meet you. He knew me from being in the business.
Yeah, the Upper West Side wives talk about what a pussy grabber you are. Everybody was warned about you.
I said, so how's it going? He goes, not well. It's really not going well, as you probably read. It's been a very, very tough period for me, son. I said, so what happened? Is anything you can do? He goes, no.
Yeah, I had momentum. But then I tried to sell everything, and then I came back from selling it, and it's a stupid story.
There's not a thing I can do. He said, I'll never forget. He said, I've lost my momentum. I just didn't have it. I used to have it, but I lost my momentum. So,
yeah, I would say a 15-year gap will do something to your, quote, momentum. The reason he lost his business at that point was not because he lost his momentum, but he was thinking in terms of you can take a 15-year pause from an entire industry and think you can just pick up where you left off and it should just zoom straight ahead. Maybe the failure had nothing to do with momentum, but the kind of person who thinks they should be able to maintain momentum after 15 fucking years.
it's a story I tell.
Yes, yes, it's great. Totally, we've all learned so much.
And you have to know when you have the momentum, but sometimes you have to also know when you've lost the momentum.
Like you're sitting next to Stormy Daniels and you're midway through Shark Week and you're like, I don't know, normally tits like that do it for me, but something's not happening. Maybe I need to watch something scarier. And so you just watch a little more Shark Week and still not even a wiggle. And you're like, this is going to go very badly. And then you get halfway there. And then you're like, it's going to be over in 3 minutes anyways. What do I care? And then momentum.
And leaving a field sometimes, leaving what you're doing sometimes is okay. But you gotta have momentum, but you have to know that momentum is gone. You have to know when to get out.
Jesus Christ. This is so inspiring. I'm back. I'm closer to myself now than I ever have been. What the
And
fuck?
that's a very sad story. I remember that story so well.
Yes, we'll never forget. Chat room, does anybody know what the dipshit is talking about? A long 3 minutes for Stormy, yeah. Like, these kids have got it, like, you do realize they're all wearing dress uniforms, right? Get this shit over with. Holy fuck.
yesterday. Fifth, you have to have the courage to take risks and to do things differently. Eisenhower again was threatened with court-martials as a young officer for advocating a new doctrine of tank warfare. Billy Mitchell was thrown out of the Army for pioneering the use of air power. They said, what do you mean air power? Don't be ridiculous.
Men can't fly. What are you? Men aren't owls. This is Satanism.
Willing to try and do things differently. It's never going to be easy for them, but they're the ones that are going to really do the important things. They're the ones who are going to make history. So don't be ashamed and don't be afraid. This is a time of incredible change.
Yes, to all the trans people in the military, don't be afraid to be different. Oh, fuck.
And we do not need an officer corps of careerists and yes men and people that want to keep it going the way it's been, because it changes rapidly, especially what you're doing.
Yeah, you don't even know the drones are going to do, like, you guys aren't going to do anything. You'll probably be sitting there playing video games and not even realize you're bombing a village.
Because believe it or not, you're in a business profession where things change as rapidly like warfare, the type of warfare.
Yeah, it's so true, except it isn't. Literally, the battlefield in Ukraine and Russia looks very similar to World War II on so many fronts. Like, the drone part of it is a big deal, but we're talking about artillery, gunfire, tanks, troop carriers, fuel issues, supply lines, all the shit.
Fortunately, we're getting to see it with Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, fortunately. It is fortunate. I agree. Thanks so much for pointing that out. It was lucky us, and lucky the Ukrainians were invaded so they can learn a lot about modern warfare. I think it's great.
And we're studying it, and it's a very terrible thing to study.
It is. Thanks for clarifying.
But we're seeing the different forms of warfare. We're seeing the drones that are coming down at angles, with speed and with precision. We've never seen it.
The angles are the thing that scare me. I mean, what is that? Holy shit, is that 32 degrees? God damn.
Like it. Never seen anything like it. And we're learning.
Yeah, maybe you don't even, depending on the angle, you may not see it at all.
From it. But your profession changes very rapidly. You've got to keep.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
You've got to be at the top of it. You've got to be right at the head of the needle.
Sure. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Tip of the spear's hack. Don't say tip of the spear. Head of the needle works. Which I think is the wrong end of the needle. But, okay.
We need patriots with guts and vision and backbone who take personal risks to ensure that America wins every single time. We want to win our battles. You know, I defeated ISIS in 3 weeks. They told me it would take 5 years. And the general that did it, you know that story, was named Raisin Cane. His name is Dan Cane. But his nickname was Raisin Cane. I said, your name is Raisin Cane. I love that. Is that a nickname? That's what they call me, sir.
Is that a nickname? No, my parents really named me Raisin. They named my older brother Grape, which is, ironic. And my sister's name is Sugar.
I think it's the guy I'm looking for. I want to know a guy named Raisin Cane. He is now the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and is a highly respected man. And we defeated, think of it, ISIS. They said, how long in Washington? Sir, it will take 4 years to defeat them, maybe 5. And maybe we won't because they're all over the place.
Yeah, they're still all over the place.
And then I met a man that said we could do it in 3 weeks, and he did it in 3 weeks.
No, he didn't.
And that's
he also didn't say that.
He's the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff right now. And we did things that nobody thought were possible. We've had great military success. When you have the right leader and you have the right people, we have the right people, you can have tremendous success. Success. 6,
Success.
never lose your faith in America and the American people, because they're always going to be there for you. I went through a very tough time with some very radicalized, sick people.
Aw, are you okay? Do you need to sit down? Do you need to rest your bone spurs? Do you need your whoopee?
And I say I was investigated more than the great, late Alphonse Capone.
Late great Alphonse Capone. He wasn't great because he was late.
Alphonse Capone was a monster. He was a very hardened criminal. I went through more
Yeah, they know. They know. They're 18, 19 years old. Yeah.
investigations than Alphonse Capone.
No, you didn't.
Now I'm talking to you as president. Can you believe this? Can you believe it?
Yes, we've sunk so low.
So you gotta fight hard, you gotta never give up, and don't let bad people take you down.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I think they teach them that in boot camp.
You gotta take them down. A lot
Sure, that's week 2 in boot camp.
of people out there, those people you have to figure it out. But you also
Yeah, there are a lot of bad people out there, and those people you got to figure it out.
finally hold on to your culture and your traditions, because that's what makes something really great, and that's what's made the Army great. The culture and the tradition.
Yes, yeah, no more of this, like these weird hazing rituals where everybody dresses as a fucking massive fervor bullshit that's been going on lately. Stick to the old stuff, you know what I mean? Marching, things like that. Army training, sir.
Talking about a battalion, a business, a sports team, or even a nation, history has shown that in many ways culture is destiny. So do not let anyone destroy the culture of winning. You have to win. Winning is a beautiful thing.
It is. Thank you. Write that down too. Winning is beautiful. I'm running out of ink on this thing. Hold on one second. Winning is a beautiful thing, he said. Beautiful thing. Okay, great. Thank you. That's great. Is that a chapter title, or is that how you anchor the whole book?
Losing, not for us.
No, it's not for us.
It's not for everybody here. If it was, you wouldn't be here. From the earliest days of our nation, this supreme tradition of American military service has been passed down from soldier to soldier and generation to generation, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. Graduating today is Cadet Ricky McMahon, Ricky's great-grandfather. Stand up wherever you are, Ricky, you're gonna like this. Ricky's great-grandfather served in World War I. His grandfather served in World War II. And his uncle, father, and mother all graduated from West Point. Where's Ricky?
Ricky Bobby, shake and bake.
In 2004, when Ricky was just a little tiny boy, who would think about that, Ricky, a little tiny boy? His dad, Lieutenant Colonel Michael McMahon, made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation.
Jesus Christ. Maybe read ahead a little bit. And he was just a little boy, his dad died. Oh, shit.
Afghanistan. Today, Lieutenant Colonel McMahon rests not far from here.
Jesus Christ.
The West Point Cemetery. Last year, 2 decades after losing his father, Ricky placed a gold chip from his dad's 1985 class ring into a crucible along 87 other rings were with it of past West Point grads that were melted down to forge those now worn by the class of 2025. You all know that? You know what?
Yes, they do. Of course they know that. Do you guys know what you're wearing? Jesus Christ. Ah, this is fucking embarrassing. Did he say I want one?
What do you wear? I want one.
Fuck you. Oh my God. I want one that's melted down from all the one he planted at his father's fucking grave. I want one.
Ricky, I want one.
Jesus Christ, he put us in his father's grave, you creep.
Each of you will carry Michael's memory with you always as you continue the legacy he gave you. It gave you something that would be so proud. He would be so proud. He is.
Oh, god damn it. This is fucking cringe.
She looks down to Ricky and his mom, Jeanette. You embody what this place is all about. And I know Michael. He's up there. He's smiling broadly. So proud. He's so proud of you today. You know that. And he's a man that couldn't be, and he is a man that couldn't be more proud. And I want to just, I just love that.
He's dead, you fucking weirdo. He's a man that couldn't be more proud. He's fucking dead. You don't even know what you just said.
Everybody's ring, they're going to remember you, they're going to remember your family, and most importantly, you're going to remember a great tradition.
Fuck you. No, you don't dovetail it back into your speech, asshole. Remember your father. They all shared in it because of his father. That's what the point of this was. Oh, God, this is awful.
Tradition of West.
No, that's not, they don't do that every time. This was special, shithead.
And of winners. Thank you very much. It's great to meet you. Thank you. You can sit down. You want to come up? If you want to come up, come on, come on. Come on.
You want to come up? Your dad died and I totally blitzed that fucking story because I'm an asshole and I made it about me. And hey, can I steal your fucking chip that...
That's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
You're a handsome guy. They're all good looking here. I don't know what's going on. The whole crowd is beautiful. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank my mother, I'd like to thank my family, and I'd like to thank G3, Go Gophers.
These are good-looking people, I'll tell you, General. What's going on over there? Look like all a bunch of male models. I can't stand it. For 2.5 cents.
Yeah, I hear they work out. I don't know. Might be the case. I don't know.
Our republic has endured because of heroes like Michael have laid down their lives for America, and because young people like...
Look at him fucking telling this story with his fucking elbow on the lectern. Like, you know, we don't have love today, kids, you know? When the shark bites with his teeth. I'm talking about love.
All of you have picked up the banner of service and carried forward the flag of freedom from Lexington to Yorktown.
Oh, shit. He's just lifting this from the end of his fucking, like... This the little military chunk he threw into his speech every so often. Oh, fuck.
From Gettysburg to Sicily.
Yeah, he's done this before, I like this piece. Like, he should be playing this.
And from Incheon to Fallujah, America has been won and saved by an unbroken chain of soldiers and patriots who ran to
the QAnon shit. Yeah.
Down the guns, leapt into
the fiery tornado of bullet fragments and told the devil to suck their dick. Right.
Of battle and charged into the crucible of fire to seize the crown of victory, no matter the odds, no matter the cost, no matter the danger. All over the world, our soldiers have made sacred the ground where they shed their blood.
Yes, where you called them suckers and losers, and you couldn't figure out what the fuck was in it for them, and...
Their valor. From Seminary Ridge to San Juan Hill.
I like all the alliteration.
Omaha Beach, Leyte Gulf, Ardennes Forest, Chosen Reservoir, all over, and even a place called Pork Chop Hill. And in all of those battles and so many more, some of the best, brightest, and bravest have come from right here at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, one of the great favorites.
Real quick. When you give a speech to a graduating class of a military academy, you can lead with the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice stuff, and tell the story about the people who gave their lives for this country, and that is the honor tradition that the people enter into. But I would not just start stacking names and corpses like fucking cordwood, discussing about, like, a lot of those dead people came from right here. Like, that's not how you finish the fucking speech. Ugh.
Places anywhere in the world. America's Army has never failed us, and with leaders like the West Point class of 2025, the Army will never fail. We will never let you down.
I'm sorry, you're in the Army now? I thought he was in the Navy. Wasn't that the... Sorry. Right. Sorry, that's the Village People song, not the actual armed forces.
And over the last week, I had...
Oh dear.
the honor of speaking to the heads of many countries. And they would say, 2 weeks ago, they said, the 8th, they said, sir.
Tears in their eyes, big strong leaders of foreign countries, tears rolling down their cheeks. They said, sir.
We're celebrating the victory today of World War II. And I said, wow, that's nice.
Wow, when was that? I didn't even know about that. There was a, wow.
Then I'd call another one, unrelated. Sir, we're celebrating the victory of World War II.
Yeah, they would not ever bring this up. What the fuck is with his voice there?
Then I called
Hold on. They said, oh, we're going to bring the victory of World War II.
We're celebrating the victory of World War II.
World War II.
Then I called President of France on something also unrelated. He said, sir, we're celebrating our victory over World War II. I said, whoa, what happened here?
Hey, fuckwad. They fought with us. Their country was attacked early in the expansion. I think Poland probably first, and then they were shortly thereafter. Also, if it wasn't for the fucking French, we wouldn't have a goddamn country, because they joined us in the fight against the British, so fuck you. That's why there's a fucking Fayette County in all those red states you go to. That's why there's a Lafayette Road in every major city.
And
We returned the favor.
Russia talked to Putin about ending that terrible war that's going on. And he said they're having a big victory march. And they did lose, in all fairness, 51 million people.
They didn't lose them. They know where they are.
But they were all celebrating. The only country that wasn't celebrating was the United States of America. And I said, isn't it amazing? We were the ones that won the war. And we were helped. We were helped. In some cases, we had to help them. But we were helped.
In the entire case, you weirdo.
Some of the nations. And we were strongly helped by a couple of them. But every one of them was celebrating. They had Victory Day. They called it Victory Day in Europe, Victory Day all over. And we weren't even thought about. Nobody had a Victory Day. And so I named that special day and another special day from now on as a holiday, but a holiday where we work. Because we don't have enough days. We're going to be having so many holidays, we're not going to be able to work anymore.
You did a declaration. It doesn't make a fucking holiday. If it's a holiday where we work, it's not a holiday. It's a fucking declaration. It's like Ice Cream Day. It still could be meaningful, but you didn't do anything.
But I named it for World War II, and a separate day in November, as you know, for World War I. I said, you know, all of these countries that participated in the war are celebrating, but the greatest country of them all, and the country that won the war, nobody even talked about. And so we're going to be talking about it too from now on. and I think you'll appreciate it. We won the First World War, we won the Second World War, and you know where we won them from? Right here at West Point. West Point won the war. You won 2 world wars.
That's very sweet, but no.
And plenty of other things, but you won't think of it.
Yeah, lacrosse. Look, I'm not downplaying what West Point grads have done, but simmer the fuck down. Like, people came from all over. Most of the kids who went to World War II and World War I especially didn't go to fucking military academies or schools at all. This is the officer class.
We don't want to have a 3rd World War, but we won the First World War, we won the Second World War right here from West Point.
Oh, did we?
And that's something, and we're going to be talking about it. You know, they can talk about it, and in some cases, as you know, they didn't do too much to help. They were ground down.
They were ground down. Right. They've been attacked, you mean?
They were
like Ukraine?
victory. No, we're going to celebrate victory because we're the ones that won that war. Standing before you today, I know that you will never stop. You will never quit. You will never yield. You will never tire. You will never, ever, ever surrender. Never give up. Remember that. Never give up. It's another little factor I could have added. Never, ever give up. Raise your right hand. I pledge I will never, ever give up. You can never give up. You can never give up. If you do, you're not going to be successful because you'll go.
Jesus Christ. I forgot to never give up talking until you remember the point you were in the teleprompter when they roll it back around.
Things that will be bad. You can have great moments, you can have bad moments. You can never give up. Through every challenge and every battle, you'll stand strong, you'll work hard, you'll stay tough, and you will fight, 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 and win, win, win.
Yeah, it sounds great. Where are your pom-poms? You don't want to go fight, 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 and win, win, win. Our team is red hot. Your team is cold snot. Fight, fight, fight. Win, win, win.
So I want to just congratulate you all. I'm going back now
To golf?
with Russia, to deal with China. What's that all about?
You tell me. They just did it. You're gonna ask one of the guys.
That's an interesting.
That's an interesting. I don't even know if people care. I was just bragging about myself that about all the things I'm gonna walk away from. By the way, never give up. Unless you're working on a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia, and then fuck those guys. I don't even know what they expect, honestly, of me. This is not my problem. I give up.
Get you lots of victories. So we're going to keep winning. This country is going to keep winning, and with you, the job is easy. I want to thank you all. Congratulations to the class of 2025. God bless you all. Incredible people. Thank you very much, everybody.
And then, of course, they play background music. We got through a bunch of that, kids. Oh, God, that was fucking torturous. It's fucking, how are people not embarrassed by this shit? Right?